That's our connection. Welcome back to the most what is it called? The most violent, extreme, and I was just called violent duo experience here in the extreme. It's been too long. Extreme three-way dance. JT, Jenny, and Matsuza going through the history of ECW wrestling here on the North South Connection. This podcast, fine podcast. Yeah, I haven't practiced in my head because it's been a while, and I'm like,
that's why you fucked up.
Yeah,
it's not coming as smoothly.
Plus, you talk so fast. You got to slow it down.
I do. I just want to get into it. I know
that's a Northeast problem.
Well, these YouTube viewers, you got to capture them right away. So I don't want to linger. I don't want to.
You got to capture them by fucking up the first line.
That's what our faces are for.
I know. Well, but the fuck up is like it's charming. They're like, oh, look at these funny people having fun.
Certainly wasn't a stroke.
Yeah,
it wasn't a stroke or anything. Or
Why would I listen to this?
This podcast is simulcast video on YouTube and audio on the Damian Kane except on the Damian Kane podcast platform, Spotify. It's not everywhere else, though. Check it out.
That was uncalled for.
5 stars, no notes.
Ooh. But this is how we do it. Like, we're live to tape, bro. So like, I'm not redoing it. It's fine. This is ECW.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
This is ECW. It's also, we're just like 3 weeks from Mania, which is exciting. We've had a ton of Mania content here on the No-So. Got drafts, we got tier lists, rebooking series. We'll be having all the previews of the matches to come this year. Coming up over the next couple weeks or so, we'll have the post-show following WrestleMania 42. So there's a lot of cool stuff. If you're into WrestleMania-based content, like this is the network for you. Because I think we've really been crushing it here on the No-So. Some really cool stuff that Aaron and I have been doing, No Holds Barred, some tier lists looking at like WrestleMania performers and kind of who left each Mania as the guy out of every Mania. Like those were a lot of fun. We've rebooked WrestleMania 12 and No Holds Barred, covered WrestleMania 12 on War. We've done some WrestleMania drafts, like I said, and then Ryan and I went through all the WrestleMania 41 matches and we slotted them into our overall list. We ranked every WrestleMania match ever, kind of where those would fall. So just a lot of good stuff for you to check out, as well as shows like this and others who are covering kind of non-WrestleMania topics, but still some great old school wrestling. So with that all behind us, I can say we are going through ECW history. We started in February 1994, and we are here in June of 2000. It's been quite the journey. I'm not going to get into the Jenny's Jersey discussion already. We already had that one a couple weeks ago. But we are on, Jenny, what day?
June 9th.
No, you blew the joke that you set up off air.
I didn't think y'all thought it was funny because nobody fucking laughed. So
why would I on what date?
6/9.
Oh, the sex number. I understand.
Nobody ever sells my jokes. Tell me.
I didn't hear it. It's not my blame. JT. I wasn't here for it.
It's okay.
Okay.
Quick, mess up another word.
Is where we're at. We are on TNN. Paulie dangerously hypes the return of Dawn Marie tonight. So we get our opening animation. Joey and Joel are in the ring. Welcome us to a very rowdy New Orleans, Louisiana, or just outside New Orleans, of course. Joey makes an incest joke about TNN. Joel does his shtick. Joey brings out hometown hero Jazz. Says she's not the average TNA. Her TNA stands for talent and ability. Before she can continue, Justin Credible's out with Francine and just canes the shit out of her. Francine smacks Jazz around. Joey and the officials check on her. The crowd wants Francine's tits, less concerned about Jazz's safety. Credible grabs the mic and says, ever since he won the ECW title, Tommy Dreamer's been chasing him, trying to kick his ass. And poor Tommy is so innocent in ECW's sacrificial lamb, but Jazz was another lamb slaughtered because Tommy doesn't have the balls to get in the ring. And until Tommy breaks the silence of the lambs, he will continue his path of destruction. I don't think it's the silence of the lambs. Tommy comes flying in and they brawl. And that wraps up that segment, which is a good one. I thought the caning of Jazz was pretty nasty. Credible was fine on the mic, even though he contradicted himself, where he's like, Tommy Dreamer's been chasing me. Tommy Dreamer's afraid to fight me. Like, if he's chasing you, is he afraid to fight you? Like, that really makes sense. I think he got mixed up. Forcing, like, multiple lamb references just to work in a reference to Silence of the Lambs was a little forced. But either way, we got through it, Matt. And we have kicked off this episode of TNN.
We have a big spot for Jazz, so good for her for getting this spot in her hometown, or next to her hometown, I guess, since we're just outside of New Orleans. So good on her for getting this big spot. But yeah, that cane shot was fucking nasty. So maybe we're gonna get Jazz involved in this whole Dreamer Incredible feud. I mean, look, the fucking feud is kind of on life support, so take anything we can get to add to this at this point. So why not throw Jazz in there? I think it's, you could do worse things for sure than add Jazz to the mix with this, Jenny.
And also, everybody else in the company has been with all these people in multiple ways, and Jazz feels a little bit fresh, I guess, maybe, and there's stuff she can do with Fran, hopefully not just catfight stuff, because I feel like Jazz is pretty legit.
Yep.
Unlike, Credible's intellect, which is not legit.
Referencing a 9-year-old movie wasn't it for you?
No.
It was a dated reference then. Never mind now.
I kind of wish Jazz did some aerobic based offense and then said like you've been jazzercised after.
Oh boy. Wow. That was out of my playbook.
She is way too cool for that. She is way
Yeah.
Paul hypes Heat Wave 2000, Tommy Dreamer versus Justin Credible. We get our hotline hype featuring Goldberg making controversial comments about leaving WCW for the WWF. Miss Hancock is in a wet shirt contest. And ECW, who cares about that though? Because ECW is frontal nudity. And Playboy loves them because of it. This is quite the loaded statement by Joey.
There's a lot.
A lot going on. And of course, we mentioned this a few episodes ago, but with the cock now defunct and deflated and flaccid, and ECW no longer there, we have gone to ulterior motives and means, and now we have unedited versions of these shows that we probably could have been watching the whole time and added a little bit different flavor. But so we'll probably mix some different stuff in that we haven't before, like those little local ads and stuff like that. So Scotty Anton sitting in the locker room. Cyrus pops in to say hello, says he has the hottest new gimmick in wrestling. Anton is ready to kick Raven's ass. Cyrus says Raven could be a big ratings getter going after the lazy male demo that sits around the house a lot. And he could be on the network if he wanted to. Anton doesn't buy it and says he could just go out and give him the clap instead. And Cyrus says Raven has had the clap before and heads off. This is one of those ones. We get this a lot with like the Minister and a few other guys where you're going to get these dudes every week doing something. Some weeks it's really funny. Some weeks it's in the middle. And some it's just like, okay, they did it just because they do it. This to me felt like that. I was like, Cyrus usually, is a very high batting average, but sometimes you get one that's just kind of like, could have left us some of the cutting room for it.
Well, he's working with Anton there, so
bingo.
Not a lot of banter to be had with this young man. I kind of want to see Cyrus fight him. I mean, they're on the same side, but I just would really like to see him get his ass beat. Maybe I'll see it tonight.
Yeah, listen, at this point, I'll take anything over fucking Scotty Anton wrestling at this point, because, I mean, he can't talk. He wasn't great in WCW, so I'm going to assume we're going to get more of the same here, but I'm still not buying him as a threat to anybody of worth at all.
He'd be fine in the low card. Like, this forced stuff with RVD because they're buddies is like, very much, but
yeah.
I heard the clap is pretty prevalent down in the villages. Someone's
oh, wow.
Joey and Joel recap. Joel's icing his head.
What was his shirt? Joker. It like a
who's Anton's?
Anton. It said Joker on it.
Was it a Steve Miller Band shirt?
I don't think so. It looked
Nobody's
like
ever...
a
Joker
uniform.
Was the Joker shirt. Was it like a band at the time?
I don't know. It looks like a sports shirt. So I was like, what the hell is this?
Nobody's ever called him the Space Cowboy. That's for damn sure.
So wasn't on this show we talked about Steve Miller Band. There's one that we talked about there. What the fuck? I don't know. I do so many podcasts at this point. There was like a resurgence of Steve Miller Band, and it was referenced. It wasn't this show? It might have been.
I don't remember that.
Well, because they were back on tour in 2000. The Joker live in concert. So maybe it was a shirt from the Joker.
Oh, it was 90210. So because we were talking about.
Yes, you're right. Okay, yes, I know what I'm talking about. Wow, so what are the odds? I don't resurgence in '93 and 2000.
I was gonna say I don't remember it on this show.
What was it? What concert was it?
It wasn't Steve Miller. Yeah, it was.
No, it was
Steely Dan.
Steely Dan. Yeah.
But Steve Miller Band apparently had a resurgence in 2000 with the Joker live in concert, recorded in the mid 2000s. So I don't know. There's a chance it was that. I'd have to go back and look at it. Honestly, I didn't.
Notable Steve Miller fans, fucking Scotty Anton.
Well, he was an American male. Joel's icing his head. He caught some friendly fire from unfriendly fire, I guess, from Justin Incredible's attack on Jazz. Shows up clips of Heyman and Joel both being censored last week, and attorneys have said they cannot discuss this on air. So Paul will be airing his thoughts on the website. Any quick thoughts on that? I wanted to pull up because our buddy Rocco, obviously very dedicated fan of the show, he said, listen to you guys talk about Heyman's rant, and it was totally beeped when it first aired, and it was a real wild move by him. For a producer of a show to shred his network like that is very reminiscent of Howard Stern's legendary battles against his radio stations and syndicates. Stern in his early days definitely seemed like someone Heyman would want to emulate a bit. So I don't know, interesting talk. I know we talked about, was it censored, did it air originally or not? But
right.
Yeah.
I just think, and I'll get more into this later on, I just think Heyman needs to take some of that fucking vitriol he has running through his veins at this point and put it back into into having like the best fucking wrestling promotion he could possibly have at this point. Because at this point, crying and hissing and moaning every week on TV isn't going to change anything. The end game is the same. So like, take some of that anger, that vitriol, and focus it on your wrestling show at this point, and just kind of see what happens from there. Because stuff like this isn't going to change anything at this point.
It honestly looks a little childish. You know, I don't know how much he wanted to look like Howard Stern, but I don't know if that's somebody that you want to kind of be like. I don't know. Maybe then it is.
Well, that time, I would
that
say
time, yeah,
he's pretty edgy.
But but I don't know. I don't know. It's just very pick me. You know, when they complain about the network all the time, and everything's about the network, and we'll talk about what Paul says later.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. All right, before someone finishes typing their comment on YouTube about how uncool we are, Joker brand was founded in 1995 by Mr. Cartoon and Estevan Oriol, a staple of 2000s West Coast streetwear and Chicano-inspired fashion. Early 2000s pieces, popular among hip-hop and skate subcultures, are highly collectible, known for their oversized graphics, baggy jeans, and slow-motion or Joker-faced logos. So there you go, kind of a graffiti art type.
Listen, I was just a child in 2000. I didn't know.
Yeah, all right. You know, that excuse comes out quickly.
And I'm from the South. What do I know about West Coast fashion?
Yeah, it wasn't really my scene.
Us not knowing is your fault, JT.
Mm-hmm.
It was really not my scene at the time. I did have a roommate that was heavily into ICP, so I knew more about Juggalo culture that I needed to know about in 2000.
Against your will.
West Coast Chicano culture. But anyway, so that solves the mystery of the Joker. He is not a Midnight Joker. It could have been. It could have been.
Some people call him Maurice.
Steve Miller Band Joker.
Oh
right?
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well,
Paul hypes the rest of the show. Raven's backstage says Anton went from being his WCW one-eyed flunky to a network hired gun. If that's the legacy he wants to leave behind, okay. Joey and Joel shit on TNN and the censorship. Joey then hypes the website. We have sexy pictures of Missy Hyatt, Kimono Wanalea, Woman, and Francine. It runs down upcoming events in Pittsburgh, Salem, New Hampshire, Danbury, Connecticut, Milwaukee, Chicago, Kansas City, Wichita, Poughkeepsie, Philly, and their big debut in Los Angeles for Heat Wave on pay-per-view. Also, Dawn Marie returns on June 23rd in Milwaukee for our taped show there. So,
Dawn Marie, just a huge draw now, I guess.
Yeah, right. Like out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. And also, what's she going to be doing?
Standing there looking pretty, I guess. I mean, unless they're going to hook her up with some new, they're going to put her with Scotty Anton or something like that.
I was just going to say him, or maybe one of the tag teams to fight with, what's her face? Elektra.
Well, it feels like a natural feud, too, to be just against, like, Credible. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't see her being with Dreamer, but
I don't know.
But like, it feels like she should be against Credible and Francine because she got injured by them with Storm, you know, that whole thing. So you would think my guess is she'll be paired somewhere with Francine somehow. Like, I don't know how, but you could think that's the natural rivalry that they've kind of set up.
Raven looked pretty hot in that promo. I'm not gonna lie. He hasn't looked hot in a minute on these shows, but
Jenny, I'll let you use your deductive thinking skills. When someone in ECW suddenly glams up and gets in shape, that only means one thing, right?
They're leaving.
They're headed somewhere better.
God damn it.
when Sandman suddenly was ripped and dropped like 50 pounds.
Yeah, right.
Like, you knew he was headed somewhere.
Sandman swaps out the Budweiser for O'Doul's. You knew it was coming.
He looked sexy with the leather jacket and shirtless look.
Yeah.
Wet hair.
He was in good shape, and it's because he was about to get paid.
Gout's gone, now he's ready to go.
Raven is here. He is taking on Scotty Anton tonight. Cyrus leads out Anton, demands the fans do the clap. Raven's out to a pop, and after we take a break, Cyrus is talking to Raven, says he knows he is having problems with Heyman and the ECW, and at one time he used to be a tremendous ratings draw. Cyrus says it's all about the ratings, and ECW is no friend of Raven, so Cyrus isn't offering him a handout, but a hand up, as the network can rehab his entire career, make him a top ratings draw, and officially offers him a spot in the network if he... What, Jenny? Go ahead.
Nothing.
Go ahead.
You know what you did.
It's just...
Listen.
I can't say anything. I'm in the same boat. It happens to me too.
Listen, it happens one or two times. Either when I'm heavily drunk, which I'm not, or when I'm very overtired. And I was at an overnight softball tournament till 4 a.m. the other night. All right,
that's fucking Rhode Island.
Draw, kid. You've not. If you think I have a Rhode Island accent, you're all in for a fucking surprise when you actually hear a Rhode Island accent. Officially offers him a spot with the network if he can shake hands with Anton. Cyrus says if he shakes Anton's hand, they will get him doing the clap. Raven asks if he's going to get any promo time, and Cyrus says there's only enough budgeted for me, but if you shake Anton's hand, he'll make him a new man. Anton offers his hand, and Raven says instead he'll shake his hand and then even flow him. Raven shakes his hand and ducks a clothesline. Anton turns back with a punch, avoids the DDT and goes to the corner. Raven chargers, hammers away on him in the corner. As the fans count to 10, Joey says they're counting the number of viewers at a roller jam. Cyrus trips Raven and Anton stomps away. Raven slides out, stalks Cyrus, slugs Anton as he comes around the corner. Raven puts him on a table, comes off the middle rope, but Anton moves and he crashes through the wood. Anton stomps away, shoves Raven in the ring, does the clap, and then nails him with a drop kick, kicks at the knee. Raven kicks out of the clapper, but Anton keeps attacking the knee, banging it off the post, stomping on it. Raven comes rallying back, breaks out the snot rag. Cyrus hands Anton a chair. He says, "You, sir, are the Joker." He gets some jungle fever, and he opens it up. Raven counters, drives Anton into the open seat, takes the money and run, and then drop toe hold Cyrus into the ref. Raven stalks at Cyrus. Anton sneaks in, rolls up Raven for 2. We get a flurry of near falls. Anton twists into the clapper, and Raven taps out. Shocking finish, I thought. But, it's not a mystery that Raven's nearing the end here. So I think him putting over Anton, I guess, makes sense. Like, you may as well, on the way out the door anyway, give Anton a win over somebody. And I thought they actually paid the knee work off with the clapper finish. So I thought that was okay. So this is a fine TV tilt and a somewhat clean win overall for Anton. So 2.25 from me, Matt.
Abracadabra, we have a 2-star match. This was fine. I mean, I'm not happy about fucking Scotty Anton winning matches against Raven, but I guess when you put it that way, that Raven's on his way out the fucking door, it makes sense. But yeah, to me, watching this, it just felt like they're doing this to punish Raven because word got out that he's leaving at the first chance he can, and that's why they had him fucking tap out clean to Scotty Riggs, a guy who was like 8th in the flock in WCW behind fucking Sick Boy and Reese. Like, I don't know. It's real fucking weird to see Raven tap out to Scotty Riggs clean as a sheet. But I get, like I said, when you put it in that context, I guess it makes sense. I don't have to like it, but god damn it makes sense. 2 stars, Jenny.
I don't like it either. It was bullshit. I mean, Raven's like on 1/4 speed. I mean, he's not a fast, agile guy anyway, but he's barely walking around. I don't know how he did that elbow through the table. Because that was like more energy than he put in the whole rest of the match. But he gets his shit in, I guess, with the drop toe hold in the chair, which he likes to do. And the snot rag. Is this his last match? Like, are we done with Raven? Because
no, we're not done.
What else are you gonna do with him?
Not yet.
We're not done yet.
Okay, thank God.
If we do a GoFundMe, Jenny, and we buy this shirt for you, will you wear it to WrestleMania?
What shirt?
The Joker here on screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
God,
and those shorts.
He looks like such an asshole. God, he looks like an asshole.
He definitely looks like the douchebag you see smoking a butt outside the convenience store.
Oh man, 100%.
Anyway, there he is.
Two-star match, yes. I hated him tapping out too, but I guess it's
Yeah.
better than a pin.
Yeah, and like I said, I thought it actually paid off the legwork. It was okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
The Baldies are on the loading dock. DeVito talks about growing up on the hard streets of the Bronx, having to fight for their lives. They chose the toughest street gang in the world to join, the Fordham Road Baldies. Angel calls out New Jack, gets riled up. Grimes tells him to stay focused. Together, they'll take care of business. Pretty basic State of the Union. Joey says the Baldies are looking to take out New Jack in Pittsburgh. So still raging on in the big 2000. Joel hypes ticket sales.
They have merch
wrestling.
now? They had the Baldies shirts on?
I think everyone had a fucking shirt, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think I've seen their shirts before because I would have made fun of it. But
They might have made them themselves at the mall.
who's buying these shirts?
They did.
Bald people.
They went to the South Philly Galleria or whatever at one of those kiosks in the middle and fucking made the shirt.
Gross.
We needed to say the Baldies. We get a music video for Just Incredible, and then it's time for our Dream Partner Tag Match. As Just Incredible and Francine head to the ring, they're followed by Cyrus leading out Rhino. Cyrus gives shit to the fans, tells Rhino to take it easy as Credible is his friend. Cyrus hypes up Credible as the greatest world champion in ECW history, says it makes sense that he'd have the hottest woman in ECW history playing with his stick. Cyrus says since Heyman didn't have the guts to face the network and got slapped around by him, the next best thing will be to have Rhino team up with Credible to destroy the heart and soul of ECW here tonight. Credible and Fran confer and accept the offer. Out comes Dreamer. He stands at ringside and looks to the crowd. Credible asks Tommy if he's scared. He's trying to bait him in the ring. Tommy holds up a beer, and of course, that only means one thing: is Enter Sandman fires up, and down he comes. He's got a ladder in one hand, and the fight is on. Rhino and Tommy brawl. Sandman and Credible spar on the floor. Tommy snaps off a neck breaker, takes Rhino outside as Sandman and Credible roll back in. Tommy takes Rhino through the crowd. Credible shoots Sandman hard into the ladder in the corner, stomps away. Both brawl. Roll along as back and forth control, and the crowd is revved up. Credible pepper Sandman. Sandman twists him into a Russian leg sweep into the ladder. Dreamer and Rhino make their way back to ringside. Sandman drives Credible into the ladder with a bulldog for a near fall. Rhino and Dreamer head in the ring, and they all start to brawl in there. Tommy loads the ladder in the corner. Sandman snaps off the Heineken Rana on Rhino. Steve Corino's out. He drives a super kick into Sandman, crotches Tommy in the ladder. The network and Credible batter Sandman and Tommy until Tajiri's in, cleans house. Out comes Anton. The network regain controls. The crowd is begging for R. Van Dam. They pop big as Pantera hits. Out he comes to join the fray. RVD clears out the ring, gets rushed by Rhino. They scrap, and RVD avoids a pile driver, pelts a Van Daminator, and follows with a 5-star frog splash. Sandman rolls over and picks up the win. After the bell, Credible smashes Sandman in the face with his cane, and the network end up laying waste to Team ECW, including Anton hooking RVD in the clapper and wrenching away. So pretty classic ECW TV brawl. I thought the post-match was pretty good, though, and it kind of reheats the network as we head toward Heat Wave. Overall, it's the strongest Anton has looked, really, since his debut, for better or worse. Credible is lethal, those cane shots as well. And the ECW Army gets to win, but has a tough night, Jenny. I went 2.5. This is a real test of your ECW metal in, like, what we're left with here. Like, Just Incredible and Scotty Riggs is our heels. Like, it's just put a lot of faith in the system. And there's still a lot of really good stuff in ECW, but it's definitely a weird use of resources at this time.
Yes, I've been ready to quit the podcast all day based on this. Why are we doing a 20-minute Just Incredible video of bullshit?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I wanted to kill myself during that entire video. I'm not even joking. And then this is just, I've seen this match 4,000 times. Yep. If I had $1, you guys, because Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, like, how many times are we running this shit back? Like, over and over and over again.
It's a lot of repetitive. That is almost like more of an issue to me right now than like who's involved in the stories is the repetitiveness of the television. Like it is
doing the same shit every week.
Yes.
And again, we talked about it over and over. I know we're broken records. It's like, I know they're running different towns, but you are still airing the shit on television. And back in the day when it was just local syndicated TV is kind of whatever. But like you are running a national TV program at this point. So whether you're running different towns or not, like to have like 7 straight weeks of Credible and Tommy Dreamer hitting each other, like it is getting to be a little long in the tooth at this point. Some of this stuff, it is like as Dreamer and Sandman were fighting with the Impact players in like the winter.
Yeah.
You know, when they were doing like the tag title stuff and all that, right? Was it or Dreamer? Was it him and Sandman? Whoever he was with. You know, they were doing tag title stuff back then. So it's like we've been in this cycle for a while now, where it's just been a lot of the same stuff.
And I mean, RVD run in, like I get it. Everybody in the crowd wants to see RVD run in.
Right.
Does his thing and then turn around and Carino and his pals do their thing, and I'm just like snoozing.
Susan
2.5.
Yeah, that's the thing is that, like Jenny said, this is all shit we've seen before. It's super predictable, which is not a thing ECW should ever fucking be, is predictable. That like goes against the fucking mission statement of this company is predictability. But yeah, it's just like, and it's one of those matches where as soon as Rhino came out, like you knew how this was going to end. It's going to be Carino comes out. It's going to be Anton comes out. RVD's going to save the day, blah, blah, blah. Like we've seen it 100 times at this point. So it's just, and it's like, none of it is bad, but it's just when you've seen it so fucking much, it's like, all right, just change it up a little bit for our sake, please. So I went 2.5 on it because it is technically fine, but just Jesus Christ, just change it a little bit at this point. We've seen it for months.
And I would argue that like when we first started doing this, like, yeah, like most people couldn't watch ECW. It was like underground. It was like, but now it's, you know, we're on the internet. We have a website. We have a network show. Like you don't have to like spoon feed your audience all your stupid feuds over and over again, right? Because they've already, it's not like, hey, we're running the country with this one thing.
Right.
You're,
and
the number 3, you're the number 3 wrestling promotion in the country.
Yeah.
And it is a small roster, right? So I get it, but you still have enough people to not have to do this. Like, you know, and
totally,
they don't have to run the angle progression of every angle every week either. Like,
no.
We can go a couple weeks without seeing these guys, right? And just give us we've kind of gotten away from even what TNN was in the beginning, like having that 25-minute banger on network. Like that was what they sold ECW as early on in the run here.
But then all the feelings got involved.
And you still got some of the horses to do it. Like, you know, give Guido and Jerry Lynn. We haven't seen that match.
Where was Jerry Lynn on this? You took the words right out of my mouth. Where was he on this episode? Where the hell is Where's Super Crazy been? Like he's been MIA for months at this point.
They still have the guys that could go out there and deliver for a while. So, all right, best match. I did go with the main event.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Worst match was Raven and the Clap.
Yeah.
Best moment. I just want that end with the network laying waste to the ECW team.
Sure. It sounds great.
I'm gonna go with Raven looking hot.
Okay. Most 2000. The rumor of Goldberg leaving WCW to go to WWF.
Apparently, the damn Joker shirt is most 2000.
Oh yeah, man, now we know. Yeah. Stock rising. Going just incredible. Cyrus. I mean, Anton's stock is rising as much as we're down on him. Like he's presented pretty strong in this episode.
Yeah.
And for falling, I just went Jazz, like hometown. She just go whacked with a cane and we never saw her again. So,
yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Sucked.
6.5 out of 10 for me, though. Like, it was fine. It was a fine episode. We're just kind of stuck in this quagmire of slop right now. like we're just trying to shake free out of it. And it just feels like we've talked about it. There's been, like, you can't keep using the Mike Awesome defection and RVD injury as an excuse as like why you're thrown off. And it feels like we have been spinning wheels since March.
Nope.
I'm gonna do 5.5.
Yeah, I found this episode super boring. I went 5.5 too. Like, someone slap Heyman in the face and tell him, "Hey, we got a wrestling show to fucking book here. Like, hey, you're the guy who made fucking a ring crew guy and Mikey Whipwreck into a world champion, right? You're the guy who made 911, who was the guy who
Well,
had
you know what's
3
interesting to
wrestling
me
moves
is
to his name into the most popular star in the company. Like,
you
where's
got to
that
wonder
coming
how
in?
much his creative side is being drained by
I
all the
was
business shit
thinking
too,
that
right?
too.
Because
Right,
like in 95,
totally.
96, I'm sure he's trying to get
100%.
different buildings and different
Right.
syndications, but like now he's dealing with TNN, he's dealing with Acclaim. You get
Yeah.
the website going, like you're trying to grow, like you get.
Oh, I'm sure he's burnt out for sure. but-
Yeah, and now you're in your 7th year of coming up with new shit. Like I'm sure he's fucking burned out.
Yeah.
So I'm positive that's not helping things either.
Yeah.
But we've talked about easy fixes that were right in front of them over and
Yeah,
over.
Totally.
And one was just as soon as RVD stepped back in the door, just give him the world title,
Yeah.
just strap him back up, and let him just take on guys every week.
Would have solved a lot of issues.
All right, I downgraded to a 6. You sold me. June 10th, 2000, Hardcore TV. We come in progress at Danny Doring and Roadkill fighting the Baldies. Angel gets crotched on top. Doring sticks DeVito with an impaler and wants to tag Roadkill, but he's getting assaulted by Diamond and Swinger on the floor. The Baldies recover, get a double flapjack on Doring for the win as Roadkill's out of commission. The Baldies assault Doring further. Natural Born Killers hits, and we don't really see much. So this is really kind of more like a recap than an actual match that we see. But it's more just seeing the tag division. It's kind of the same, but it's kind of reshaping a little bit. The Baldies are kind of more in there now. We'll see if New Jack's involved at all. Diamond and Swinger have really kind of stepped up in the division as well. So we're seeing a little bit of shakeup, but it's just still kind of like we don't have champions. They're all still fighting for the positions.
Yeah, that's a great fucking point, isn't it?
How
When
long
was
has
that,
it
May?
been? 6 months?
I mean, that
feels
was
like forever.
I guess it wasn't that long because what was it before?
April?
No, it was before the pay-per-view, right? It was when
Yeah.
Credible. It was when Awesome left, right? Credible won the
Right.
title.
Yes.
So April.
Yep.
It's been 2 months. It feels like it's been an eternity, but
Yes.
Yeah.
but 2 months is a while still.
Well, and I kind of even hated what they were doing before that anyway.
Yeah.
It was just all of them
What?
fighting to become the number one
Yeah.
contender. So
Yeah.
it's really been the same thing.
Same
It's
shit.
just now they're fighting to be champions before they were fighting to be the number one contenders.
Well,
like for
but
the last 6 months.
good news, guys. The best of 38,153 series between New Jack and the Baldies continues. So
Right.
thank goodness
That's what
for
I'm
that,
here
you
for.
guys.
And it's like they can use these guys in different ways. The Baldies are fine in the tag division fighting other people. Just like do that.
Literally have New Jack do anything else at this point. Like,
He should probably be retired after
Well,
having his skull destroyed.
Yes,
by Brian.
absolutely. Yes.
all that too. Yeah.
We get our opening animation. We come back to the Lario. New Jack has arrived and is brutalizing the now bloodied Angel. He mauls him with the 187 and covers for the pinfall. So that was kind of the finish of what we just saw. He throws Angel to the floor and Joey proclaims him as the king of the street. So I don't know. Maybe this is finally it. We'll see. New Jack kind of goes over them clean here. Joey hypes up the rest of the show. We'll have footage of the censored comments from Heyman and Gertner. Heyman then plugs the hotline and says he has news on the most important story in the history of pro wrestling. I don't know what that was, Matt. I don't know if you have any vibe for that. Like,
No idea.
I
was
doubt
gonna
it's-
ask you.
I doubt it's WWF going off USA. Like, that can't be the biggest in history.
Yeah, I don't know. What
I'd have to look back if the rumors of WCW being sold were starting here.
Maybe.
Because I believe it's in September when WWF is going to buy them initially and it falls through.
Yep.
And they start and like Bischoff was like starting to get in the mix because there were reports in like September-ish that they were going to buy WCW. And then they ended up, there was some aspect, maybe they weren't going to get the tapes or without the TV. There was some reasoning that they backed off. So it could have been, maybe that was already starting to leak out. I'm not sure.
I was
Anyone
thinking it
knows?
was like maybe it was Crash Holly won the hardcore title or something, which
For
would
the
have been
75th time. Yeah.
big fucking news, really. But
It could have been that.
won it at a playground in Detroit.
The most important story. It's got to be WCW going out of business or something. It can't be USA.
Yeah, I don't know what else it would be.
Or them just talking shit. Everything them is
I
I know
the most
everything they do is,
important thing
and at the
in
time,
everything.
everything did seem like a big deal. So it
Right.
could have just been WWF leaving USA. I mean, that was like a big deal at the time. But
The Maestro fired by WCW. Big news.
maybe it was the Gorgeous George tape. Macho Man tape,
Wow.
Ooh.
if you remember that. Were you too young for that, Matt, or did you find that after?
After the fact, yeah. Give me that Betamax, yeah.
I remember waiting for that fucking thing. I remember waiting for that thing to download. Felt like it was never.
Wow.
gonna end.
Wow.
Waiting for that to download.
Overnight with your shitty Rhode Island internet.
Oh my Lord. Just waiting. Play it on QuickTime. VHS plug for ECW Extreme Warfare Volume 1. We then get an ECW Hardcore Revolution video game ad. Plug for ECW House Party on VHS. And then Joey sets up the rest of the night ahead. To the ring we go is Kid Cash taking on CW Anderson. CW, Louie, and Elektra get to the ring. Lou grabs the mic, says a lot of Cajun crack babies showed up tonight.
Wow.
And the last time he was in NOLA, the people showed to be rude and inconsiderate, and they are the ones that paid to see him. And unless that changes, they need to show him respect. Lou continues to shtick. He does his intros until Ba with the Ba hits, and out comes Cash for a big Hardcore Heaven rematch. Speaking of crack, we start with some chain work into a reset after a C-Dub hip toss. Cash comes back. We get another flurry of counters into a Cash driving CW to the floor. The drop kick meets him with a plancha. We go to break. We come back after a merch ad for Sandman and New Jack shirts. Plug to meet Simon Diamond, Dawn Marie, and Elektra on June 11th at the Scranton East Holiday Inn. You guys ever been there?
Can't say that I have. No,
I was born there.
You ever seen the movie Hall Pass?
Yeah,
I have. Yeah.
The scene at the end where they're in that shitty hotel where the girl like has like explosive whatever like, like I picture that's what the Scranton East Holiday Inn looks like. That hotel room. All right, I'm trying with some deep cuts, and there's just no souls left. This is all because of the stupid 6ix9ine.
I thought you were gonna go more.
No one laughed at the 6ix9ine joke, and now
Scott.
I've been punished the entire show.
You were going to say it was more like that hotel in Philly, but all right.
We come back. Elektra's stripping down for Cash. Lou has the ref tied up. Cash walks to Elektra, and she slaps him, so he grabs her by the hair, drags her in the ring. C-Dub makes a save with a super kick, stomps away, then starts a club on the shoulder. The crowd wants balls. As C-Dub keeps Cash in the soup, C-Dub hits a sit-out power slam for 2, but Cash rallies, gets a springboard axe to the head. C-Dub ducks a punch, gets a T-bone for 2, scrapes, chops, claws. C-Dub's back on the shoulder, fighting off a comeback, snapping off a single-arm DDT for 2. Cash dodges a charge and gets a swinging DDT for a close 2 count. C-Dub rallies with a spine buster for 2, but Lou accidentally cracks C-Dub with the phone, and Cash gets the win. So pretty proficient as usual for CW Anderson. Focus attack. We get some stooging at the end. Cash wins, rolls on. And the Dangerous Alliance continues to do the Lord's work, Matt, in the lower card here. 2.5 for me. Like, I mean, they've really been a God blessing here. And for most of this year, they're not an act I thought I'd care about, like when they first joined, but they really keep this like low card kind of moving along. And they stick out a little bit differently than most of the tag team shit we get on the low card. You know, Lou's funny. Elektra's hot. Like, she's been a good addition to them off Adoring and Roadkill. So they've been pretty good in this little... They've kind of kept the world moving down there.
It helps that you have someone like CW Anderson going out there and putting on matches like this on TV every week, too. This was fun. Like, just as good as the pay-per-view match. These two guys work well together. I mean, Cash works well with everybody, but there's something about these two. It just kind of works, like the power stuff from CW and Cash flying around the ring like a fucking maniac. So it's a good match for hardcore TV, which is a thing we have not fucking had in a long time. So I'll take it at this point with a 2.5, Jenny.
I hear. Agreed. Cash's luscious locks are back, and not those horrible, ugly ass braids that we had to see last time. And yes, I totally agree. I love me some C-Dub. Like, they're just fun. All of them are. And he works a hell of a match. And Cash can sell like nobody's business. I'm at 2 3/4 on it. Fun finish too.
All right. Good for the DA. Joey says we'll see the comments from Paul Lee that were too controversial for TNN, which is an MTV network that featured Beavis and Butthead and now has Tom Green talking about missing testicles. Loveline discussing premature ejaculation and orgasms. But Heyman is too much for them. But those things are okay.
That's a good point.
Did you guys watch Loveline, Matt, or was you too young for that too?
Yes.
It's a bit before my time. I have seen Beavis and Butthead, though, if that helps.
All great shows. Loveline was big. Tom Green had that surgery or the prostate check, whatever it was.
And I've seen Tom. No, he had the ball surgery. He had a ball removed.
Yeah. But anyway, MTV was a whole vibe back then.
It was.
That was like, I feel like you kind of had your rotation of channels, and I can still remember the numbers.
Oh no!
So for anyone that's really young, right, like TV channels had numbers, and you had to put the numbers on your remote.
I'm not familiar. What?
And Yeah, you are. And some of the we always had the numbers. Like there were like 30 was ESPN, so I'd go there first. Down to 29 for ESPN2. MTV was 60. VH1 was 59. And then I think Comedy Central was like 71 or something like that. And those are like the ones you'd hit. And then before if there was nothing cooking on those, you'd go to maybe like a TBS or something like that.
Yeah.
27 or 28 was like TBS. And then
You go to
if
like
not, then you went to
99
the
for hoping to see a tit on Scramble Vision on like 99 or something.
All right, so here's a real way backer. There was a rumor that you could use your VCR to record the Spice Channel, and you had to use a certain combination of buttons to unlock it. And if you did it through your VCR, it would descramble the porn. So I had put a tape in, and I put a Home Alone tape, and I did the combo, and the VCR ate the tape and ripped it. So then I had like, the VCR ripped Home Alone.
So then I tried it 10 more times and it still didn't fucking work.
Didn't work.
Okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
It was the time, man. Sleep over my buddy Jim's.
And then I found porn in the woods.
I slept over Jim's and he had the black box, and I slept in the living room. I got to watch it because everything was unlocked at that house, so that was cool. It was different. Now you just go on Twitter for 20 seconds. You can see whatever you want. Back then, it was like
we had to work for it. Damn it!
You had to work. Yeah, it was a fucking job. Anyway, MTV channel.
It sure was.
That was usually where you go.
In more ways than
Joey plugs the website, vintage pictures of women of ECW, runs down the upcoming shows, all the same towns from earlier. We get our late breaking news graphic, and this has Paul Heyman's promo. It's focused around TNN planning to give Vince McMahon $100 million to jump to TNN. And that's where ECW relies on the fans. Heyman says, everyone these days wants to shoot, so here's a shoot. ECW hates TNN for abandoning ECW, not supporting them, not advertising them, and not having the balls to kick us off the air. Kick us off, and we'll break every rule in front of you until you do. Paul says TNN can take their $100 million and spend it on attorneys because the war had just begun. And look, I'm Team ECW. This feels like a real, like, jilted loser girlfriend, like, or boyfriend, like that. It's just like, look, you lost. Like, they're bigger. What did you think was going to happen? Like, you think they were going to keep you and your under one rating on Friday nights, or the WWF, which is a fucking juggernaut, with like, 7 million viewers watching Raw at this point every Monday night? I mean, it was just like, what did he expect it to be, at that point? So I get this was his way of rallying his fans, and this is what he did for 7 years. And yes, was TNN right? No. But instead of what ECW has always been, and that is excel in the face of the trouble, this just feels like whiny. Like, I actually wish they just kept this censored, because I think it would have been better.
Me too.
I get that he's calling them out, and maybe it's like Stern or whatever else, but this just felt like really like bitchy to me. Like, it was like, okay, buddy, like, when Paul Skeen signed with the Yankees, the Pirates fans are going to feel the same way. But it's like, what do you want? They're giving him all the money, right? And that's what it is, right? You're a small market. They're going to take the big market team, and it's going to always happen. And this is the free market. This is what it is. So, like, yes, could TNN have done more for them? Could they have advertised more? It was never the right fit, right? They tried to build this thrill zone fucking Friday nights,
right?
But they didn't want to commit because ECW wasn't the type of program they want. And instead of ECW working with them to provide them the type of promotion that they would promote, that's not their style, right? Their style is, well, fuck you, we'll do what we want, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas TNN, also could have said, well, okay, well, it's working, let's give it a shot, right? We'll promote it. So both are wrong, right? Because neither really worked hard, I don't think, to meet in the middle,
right, and
find a way to make it work. But I don't know why Paul thinks in any world, like, I mean, are they breaching their contract? They're airing every week, so like, what's the problem? Why would they kick him off the air and breach the fucking contract? Which is what Paul is probably deep down, knowing him, like alternative motive is like trying to do. Mm-hmm. He is probably trying to get TNN to breach the contract, so then he can like sue them for a bunch of money that he can
exactly
to stay alive, right? So that's probably what part of this is like he's trying to be as big of a dick as possible to get thrown off, and he can say you didn't meet our contract and keep us. But TNN's just forging ahead. They're keeping him on because WWE can't jump till September anyway when the USA deal ends. So the timing works fairly well that they're going to, hit at the same time. So and which I think was always Viacom's plan anyway, was like get TNN on or get ECW on one of our networks to start to get the audience ready to know that there's wrestling here, because in a year WWF is up for grabs and we're gonna make a play, right? Like I think you already knew this shit when they signed ECW.
Yeah.
They
Right.
knew they were gonna do this.
100%.
Yeah, they knew they were gonna do this shit. And USA was trying to get UFC, right, or whatever else. So like it was a whole fucking game, right? They were doing all this shit behind the scenes. So I don't know. Like I've been with Paul and I've understood. Like I've enjoyed some of the network stuff and all that, but this felt like okay. This was like billionaire Ted level of like, all right, like it was funny a few times and now we're done. Like the network has already eaten up like all of our TV time over the last 6 months. And thanks to Cyrus, it has worked well because Cyrus is so dynamic of a performer. Without him, I'm not sure how well it would have been. Right. But he has helped carry you through it. And Rhino being a compelling character, but he would have worked with or without the network. I mean, he would have been awesome regardless.
I wish we could have just had a run of the network and then like ended it, right? And just like had a winner, whatever you want to say, and then just moved along. Like I like that as a storyline, but not the only fucking storyline.
Yeah.
We need, and I can't decide if Heyman is like, it's like I feel he's a very intelligent booker and creator and thinker, but business doesn't seem like his forte.
No, not at all.
And I wish maybe he had a Todd Gordon, if you want to go back to the old days, or somebody like that, which I don't know, maybe he did, and I just don't know who that is, but somebody to kind of deal with this business stuff and let Paul like work it out on the creative side. Like maybe of course they're probably gonna be in the same position, but it could have maybe not bled over into creative as much.
He probably didn't want to sell out either. Like, I mean, there could have been ways to do it. Like, I'm sure. And honestly, I really think, I mean, WWF was funding them anyway. With WWF being so hot by 99, if he went to Vince and was like take us over as like a feeder promotion, support us.
Right.
And I think he already was to an extent, but like just get us a fucking deal somewhere and let us run and we'll hype your guys and do it. Like, but they didn't want to do that, right? Which I get to. Yeah, it's just a bunch of
when you spend all the years, you know, tough shit.
But WWF was funding them. Like they were funding them in 98, 97, 98. I don't know.
That's the thing that gets me is like, to your point, Jenny, for as savvy as a business guy that Heyman claims to be, wouldn't a business guy realize at some point that you were going to be a fucking canary in a coal mine for the WWF?
Right.
Going to TNN, you know, like, so, and I forgot what wrestler said it, but there's some interview somewhere. It might've been like Dreamer or Taz. This is, you know, a couple years after the fact, where he basically says, Paulie was a great booker. He was a great writer, but don't let him balance a checkbook, basically.
Right.
And it's true. Like,
I just wish he had a teammate, a partner, somebody to be that side for him.
Well, and then I think they banked a lot on the video game, and then they had an issue with Acclaim and the money for that. Like it was just like a lot of bad luck. I mean, that was part of it too. We've talked about it too. They were just around at a time when wrestling on network TV wasn't popular. I mean, WWF is the biggest it's ever been at this time, and they're struggling with advertising, like because people think wrestling is dog shit and like lowbrow and everything else, and they didn't want to advertise on it. So
they're like a step below even what people think about lowbrow.
Correct. And they are multiple levels below the success of WWF. I mean, Raw is literally getting over 6 million viewers a week at this point, sold out every arena, and
they could still only get ads for fucking lugs and JVC,
1-800 collect and everything else. Like they're not getting fucking Budweiser and Coke and everything. Like or Patio, right? They're not getting any of that shit. It's ridiculous levels of culture issues with wrestling at this time. So it's just bad timing. This is pre-internet streaming. And I've said it, like, I think if Heyman could hang on to like 02, they could have maybe started to do some rudimentary streaming stuff or weekly pay-per-view like TNA does. Like there were options coming, Heat's on WWE.com by what?
05, I think.
04. Yeah. So I mean, like, I know that's like 5 years out, but like there was like early, versions of that starting to creep in, out there too. So, and the DVD market's about to explode as well. Like ROH has been heavy on the DVD market in 2002. So, like, we're not far from alternative solutions if they could have stayed afloat, one more year. But Anyway, we still got time. I know we keep eulogizing them. So the ring we go. Simon Diamond and Johnny Swinger taking on Nova and Chris Chetty. Simon Swinger and the Circus are here. Joey talks about Paul's editorial, says we'll hear Joel's uncensored comments later. Joey notes that Simon and Swinger lost their first match last week to Doring and Roadkill, so then attacked them tonight. It cost them their tilt with the Baldies. Simon has the mic, and he's got a problem. Says, in case they haven't noticed, they came out earlier to set an example on Doring and Roadkill, and the message is clear. They are not a comedy act. Intergalactic cuts them off. Out come Nova and Chetty. They get a pop. Joey jokes about the circus at ringside. Diamond complains about not being a comedy act at the same time. After intros, which include a note from Mitch, that Diamond hates New Orleans even more than Ricky Williams. Diamond and Swinger bicker about who's going to start. So Chetty slingshots him in. We get a flurry of offense from Chetty, a quick tag to Nova, leading some double team kicks. Nova and Chetty clean out Swinger. Nova hammers on Diamond. Diamond avoids a drop kick. Swinger cuts down Nova with a lariat. He throws Nova outside with a circus pounce. They shove him back in the ring. Diamond and Swinger work some double team offense and tags until Nova rallies. Sticks up a boot to Diamond. Diamond counters into 2 suplexes, but Nova counters a third and twists into a spin doctor. Chetty gets a tag, cleans house on Diamond, Swinger, and the circus as they all try to help out. Diamond clubs Chetty from behind. Chetty kicks him to the floor. Swinger takes out Chetty from behind, flings him to the apron, and slugs him into the railing. Nova's in, but Diamond hits him from behind with a sword, and Swinger gets 2 on a Russian leg sweep. During a road killer out, and they beat down Diamond on the floor. Chetty batters Swinger in the ring. And Nova wipes out the circus in the ring as Swinger and Chetty roll back inside. We get a quick flurry of reversals until Chetty finishes Swinger with the Amityville Horror. Fun little tag match. It was kind of usual for these guys. The circus adds some fun chaos to the Diamond shit. But this is like a real intense trade-off of wins. Like, so Diamond and Swinger were this big debuting team. They've now lost 2 in a row. Chetty and Nova seem to win 5, lose 5. Roadkill and Doring, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they were red hot, and I don't think they've won in months. So it's like we're just all over the place, with these teams. So 2 1/4, Jenny. Like, again, the match is fine, but it's just more rinse repeat, the type of stuff we just talked about.
Absolutely, yes. It's messy as fuck, but like in that fun way. And it's inoffensive. I mean, Chetty is in the match, but he's all right. He's gotten better, I suppose. Diamond and Swinger, I think I'm on board for what they're going to do. Like, I think that they have potential to become something like a fun heel group, like DA was initially. And I don't know. I'm at 2 stars on it. Like you said, we've seen it a ton, so nothing new here. Maddie?
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I went 2 stars on it. I'm still not sold on Johnny Swinger as a person, quite frankly, but I mean, maybe he'll get there. I mean, he was barely a person in WCW, but like if anybody can make him into a person, it would be ECW. So it's fine. It's just, to your point, JT, all these teams just keep fucking trading wins, and you wonder why there's no tag champs. It's because nobody's been fucking dominant, and they don't know. It seems like they're still trying to figure out who to put the belts on fucking 8 weeks after the fact, which is not great. So I kind of think that might be why they're trading all these wins, because
Going and Roadkill were red hot until the Impact
right.
until like they were primed to win the belts from Impact players, and they should have just fucking done it before the Impact players split up. Instead of throwing the belts down, they should have lost because Credible turns on Storm or something. Like,
right.
That would have been fine,
No, instead we have to do 8 weeks of just of the void of the tag team division. So it's super weird. I guess you could argue they're trying to rebuild it, but rebuild it from what? Like, I don't know. So 2 stars for me, it's fine. But again, like the theme of the night, we've seen all this shit before.
All right, we get Joel's censored comments, which is really just kind of nuking TNN with a hillbilly joke. Like, I don't think it was worth any kind of hype.
No, not really.
I feel like he said worse, way worse, especially with the Dudleys. All right, we go backstage. Tony Mama Luke stumbles upon little Guido and Big Sally Graziano, and with the arrival of the FBI, that can only mean one thing for us. Time for the Italian lesson of the week here tonight. And as we sit here and record this episode, we are mere days away from St. Joseph's Day. Feast of St.
Oh.
Joseph, or the solemnity of St. Joseph, of course, is the Western
That's not Italian?
Huh? There's Italian twist to it. We're going to talk about it. You relax. For Christ's sake.
Well,
My
usually
favorite-
we have to repeat the word. And
I love a good
we'll get
Italian.
there. We're going to
That's
get
my
there.
favorite dance craze, the Italian twist. But go on.
My Lord, this is the Italian twist. The tarantella. Everybody do the tarantella. All right,
Love
so here we go. Anyway, before I got rudely interrupted. The principal feast day of St. Joseph, husband of the Virgin Mary, legal father of Jesus Christ, celebrated on March 19th. It has the rank of a solemnity in the Catholic Church. Go ahead, can you say solemnity? But you can't say that.
no,
I don't think you can. I'm not sure you can either.
I can't.
Menage
It's a
a
feast of
trois.
commemoration of the provinces of the Anglican Communion, the feast or festival in a Lutheran church. St. Joseph's Day is a patronal feast day for Poland as well as Canada. Persons named Joseph, Josephine, etc. for religious institutes, schools, parishes bearing his name, and for carpenters. In Italy, March 19th is also celebrated as Father's Day in the historical region of Romagna, including the independent Republic of San Marino. Bonfires known as the Fagoraccia. Can you
Fagoraccia.
I don't think
Fagoraccia.
say you can't say that.
Fagoraccia are lit on the eve of St. Joseph's Day. Their bonfires, especially popular in Rimini, where they extend the length of the city's coastal conurbation from Cattolica to Cesenatico. I believe they fought it in your house 6. Bonfires are traditionally lit for St. Joseph's Day in several other places in Italy outside Romagna, such as in Bobbio, Emilia-Romagna, in Matera Basilicata, in Val Trebbia, Saracopia. Is there enough words for you, Jenny? Okay.
No fuck is happening.
Zeppole are traditionally fried on the bonfires in Itri and Latazio. Do you know what a zeppole is?
It's a band from the UK. They sang "Stairway to Heaven."
Ben Locke saw them. Those festival I went to. It's an Italian pastry consisting of deep fried dough
it was
ball,
the pastry, yeah.
varying sizes, typically about 4 inches. We call that a double groony. These fritters are usually topped with powdered sugar, maybe filled with custard, jelly, cannoli style pastry, cream, butter, or honey mixtures. So zeppole is
Did
a
you say
big.
pastry peen?
Most Italians will go to the local bakery, and pick up some zeppoles on St. Joseph's Day. In Calabria, a pasta dish containing chickpeas is shared among families and neighbors on St. Joseph's Day as well. The custom known as u cambitu may have emerged in the 20th century of origins in Calabria's medieval feudal society, where rich families invited poor people from the neighborhood to feast at their house. Some would even dress as the Holy Family. I'm not going to get to the Sicilian and Maltan ceremonies. You can go read those on your own. Was that enough Italian for you mixed in there after you?
You should have had Chad do this one too.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, today's
you-
Italian lesson of the week is Cinema Paradiso.
Oh no. So do you celebrate St. Joseph's Day?
Like in Catholic school, we definitely did. Like, I think we had to go to mass or whatever, and then it was a thing. But yes, my family's always gotten like zeppoles on St. Joseph's Day and had them. There's not like a ton. We didn't do any of the other traditions, but you had St. Patrick's Day, so you get your Irish treats, and then you'd have St. Joseph's Day 2 days later and get your zeppoles.
Celebrated by dancing the Italian twist.
The tarantella, yes.
Cinema Paradiso.
We'd watch that at night, waiting for Italian Santa. Tony tells Guido.
Nothing.
Tony tells Guido, I guarantee you we'll get Criscolo pictures of a Zeppola on later this week. Guido and Sal agree. Tony says he took care of everything for tonight. Got them their match with Mikey Whipwreck. Sal shoves Tony down and says he'll never learn, and tells Guido he can stay with him. And Guido calls him a stunad. Louis the largemouth bass ad is great.
Oh.
Any thoughts on Louis the largemouth bass?
Holy hell. That was a
What the
throwback.
fuck? I was a child and I remember seeing these fucking
Yeah.
commercials, and I could not believe I had to spend at least 3 minutes sitting here watching that entire.
You know you can fast forward, right?
I know, but
You don't have to watch these things. Splish, splash, I was taking a
I wanted to watch it. There's a talking fish. Why wouldn't you want to watch that?
y'all.
Isn't that like the major crux of like a huge Sopranos episode as well with the fish?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so. Also, my grandpa had one.
Everyone had one.
Yeah, I think my mom had one, probably.
Why was that like the go-to gift for any man? Like, of
I think
course.
it's proof we were always stupid. Is what I'm learning. But
Well, it was kind of like the new age, like the later age Chia Pet kind of thing. Like there's always something stupid bad around.
I don't know. A Chia Pet never sang fucking Mac the Knife to me.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
I know. I'm with you.
Did he also sing "Take Me to the River"?
There was one that did. I think that might have been Big Mouth Billy Bass.
I think that's the one I had.
Big Mouth Billy Bass.
I definitely remember that. Yeah.
What did he sing on this commercial?
Splish Splash, wasn't it? That's what's
Splash,
on the
that's
picture.
right,
here.
Yeah.
No, I think
Splish
that
Splash.
was better.
Splish Splash. I was
The talking fish industry was fucking booming in 2000, guys.
That bubble didn't pop like
We
the
used
like the
to be a
.com bubble.
proper country.
Oh boy.
Also, the ad, I assume it's from 2000-ish. It looked like it was from the 70s.
Oh yeah.
I
No,
really did.
it is a pure local, like cheap ass. You know, you rented out the public access edit and control booth and just slapped it together. This
Local
definitely
used
aired
car
along
dealership.
like Ron Pompeo.
Yeah.
that kind of
Totally.
stuff. Oh, the glory days. A lot of old school TV talk tonight. It's exciting. Little Guido is taking on Mikey Whipwreck. Guido heads to the ring, bickering with Tony, telling him he hasn't proved himself enough to be an official member of the FBI, despite he nearly dying in his debut match. Sinister Minister leads out Mikey as Joey reminds us he's flung fire at Sally Gratz multiple times as part of this intense feud. Mikey sits at the timekeeper's table, douses it in lighter fluid, he lights the bell on fire, and then he just sits and stares at it as the timekeeper runs away. Mikey lights the bell on fire again after the intros. He makes the timekeeper ring it. Gets in the ring. Guido's all over him. Mikey tries a tornado DDT, but Guido counters a jawbreaker. Gets a seated drop kick for 2. We get a series of counter spots into a Mikey guillotine leg drop, but Tony distracts Mikey and Guido shoves him into the railing. I feel like I'm at a fucking family wedding. Tony, Mikey, Guido. Mikey counters Arana. Those are like all my uncles. Into a powerbomb for 2. As Sinister Minister ties up the ref. We see the Dominic. Mikey pulls up Guido on top. Tony meets him up there, takes down Mikey with Arana. Guido follows with a Maratado for the win. Mikey snaps off a double whippersnapper as Sal comes in and knocks him down. Sal avalanches Mikey in the corner, plants him with a slam. Mikey douses them with a lighter fluid, but Balls is out for the save. Sal no-sells a chair shot. He splashes Balls as the FBI stand tall. I'll be honest, I was kind of disappointed in this match. I thought it had potential. I do like the feud quite a bit, but the finish is pretty easy for Guido. Minister costs Mikey. Tony gives the assist. The post-match helped. The crowd bit on Balls, making the save. Tony's a good add to the FBI. You needed some of that. Like I've always enjoyed the FBI from the start, but we have missed a little bit of the Tracy Smothers, Big Don, Tommy Rich, JT Smith era nonsense. And Tony seems to like bring a little bit of that goofball, kind of classic goofballness back in to the FBI. And it doesn't take away from Guido being nasty in the ring. So it's like a good balance. It's like you got Guido out there murdering dudes in the ring. You know, Sal's out there as the muscle, and then you got Tony being the stooge. So we've kind of missed like a fun stooge as part of the group. So I went star and a quarter, Matt. Match not much, but I do like the feud. Like I think it's a cool little underworld feud they have cooking right now between the Italians and the Devils. So
it's my favorite NHL rivalry. I want to star on this. Your Italian lesson of the week was triple the length of this fucking match. Which was very frustrating. This was like 2 minutes long, and it made me irrationally angry because why have a good match on this show with two guys who can, go out there for 10 minutes and have like a 3.5-star match? No, let's give them 2 minutes on this episode of Hardcore TV, a show which hasn't had a good match in a good long while. So why give them, 10 minutes to kill on Hardcore TV? So that was super frustrating. The feud will probably be good, but man, that annoyed the hell out of me that this was like 2 minutes long. So I went to Gentleman's 1 on this, Jenny.
Yeah, it was a 1 for me too. And I really was expecting something else here, but I do like the fire. The fire was excellent. I really liked Mikey lighting it on fire for the second time and making dude ring the bell. That was awesome. And they can work. What are we doing? Why are we like, you can do the character fun stuff and work a match at the same time.
Right.
And usually Guido and Sal do that. So I don't know. It was just
This is one time I would have been okay without a finish and just have like everyone come in and start brawling and we end with like nothing. You know, like I think that would have been okay. So, but I'm okay with Guido winning too. Like, it's like he's been pretty pushed and he kind of lingers around the TV title division. So like I think he has to be kept a little bit stronger than most at this level. So because it kind of goes like TV title, then these guys, and then like the low card with the tag and the DA and that shit. Like that's kind of where we're at right now. These guys are kind of in between the upper mid card and the bottom of the card. So. All right, Heyman hypes the hotline. We get ads for new shirts, Sandman and New Jack, ticket sales, ECW Hardcore Revolution ad. We get the Dawn Marie hype video, and the announcement again that she will be at the ECW Arena on July 8th to get her hands on Francine. And we get a slate for ticket sales locally from the arena. Best match for me was Cash and C-Dub Anderson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Worst match is the one we just covered, Mikey and Guido.
Yep.
Best moment, I went with Heyman's promo. Again, I wasn't like a fan of what it was doing, but there was nothing else going on the show. It was still probably the best overall segment that they delivered.
I don't know. I might go with the FBI here because during their little segment, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much on this episode. It's either Heyman or Mikey lighting the bell.
Oh, shit. Fire. Yeah, it was Mikey.
Yeah, that was funny. 2000s, we had Ricky Williams in the Saints. We had Loveline, Tom Green. We had a lot going on around here.
Fill it with references because we don't have fuck all else going on in this episode.
Stock Rising, I went Kid Cash. I went Heyman. I mean, just for the promo. And then the FBI. Falling, TNN. And I put Mikey and Minister. This was a tough night for them. And they weren't even on TNN with a promo either. Like, we didn't even get a promo from them. It was just lighting the bell on fire and then losing. So, kind of a soft night for them. I went 4 out of 10. This was not much going on. Like, you could have easily just, unless you're a diehard, you could have missed this and not missed a thing. Like nothing happened on this episode of anything that meant anything.
Yeah, I might do like a 4.5.
Yeah, I went 4 on it. Just a whole lot of nothing going on.
I mean, we are getting like at least original content on Hardcore TV. Like, we're not getting as much repetition as I thought we were going to get. Like, if you think way back when TNN started, we were planning our schedule, and I thought we were going to have a ton of like overlap. It would be slicing episodes up, and there's really been none of that. Like that here and there, we get segments, but there's been way more original content on Hardcore TV than I anticipated. So, at least that.
All right, unfortunately, the original content isn't good.
I know it's not great, but
yeah.
But it is there. TNN, we go June 16, 2000, our last episode tonight. We open near the loading dock. Sandman's being carted into an ambulance. Tommy and RVD are standing by the officials. Joey asks, what has happened to the Sandman? So we open up kind of a cliffhanger. We get our opening animation. Joey and Joel are in the ring. We're in Pittsburgh. The crowd's pretty rowdy. They welcome us to the show. Joey skips his usual TNN joke. Joel starts his shtick. Cyrus interrupts and heads out to some great heat. Cyrus tells the fans to calm down. He's got personal network business with Gertner. The crowd says to fuck up Cyrus to Joel. Cyrus says he has come out in the past and tried to help Joel. He's come to him as a boss. He's come to him in a diplomatic way that no one here cares about him. The crowd chants for Joel as Cyrus says maybe there are some troglodytes in the crowd that care, but visually speaking, Gertner is a ratings killer and living proof that wrestling is show business for ugly people. Cyrus has come out as a boss and a friend. Joel cuts him off and says he's come out to get over at my expense time and time again. Joel's sick of Cyrus, and Cyrus tells him, don't get hot. Not as a boss, but I'm the guy that's about to kick your fat ass. When he was in school there was a fat kid that reminded Cyrus of Joel. Cyrus asked Joel if he knows what he used to do to that kid. And Joel steps up and says he used to suck his dick. And that gets a huge pop. Joey chuckles. Cyrus says he can edit. I'll edit you again. And how does it feel to know your dirty limericks are off the show? But what may make air is Cyrus bitch slapping your fat face and getting punked out by the network on national TV. Joel says nobody cares about Cyrus or wants him here, and no one would ever pay 5 cents out of admission to hear Cyrus's ugly face drivel on, and he should get to the point if he wants to fire him. Cyrus says he doesn't need to fire him because no one else in the world would even hire his fat ass. So he's telling Joel that if he wants to remain a living, breathing part of this show, you need to apologize to me and to TNN. What do you think about that, fat man? Gertner says he's sorry that Cyrus spit in his eye, and now he has to take a blood test. He's sorry that Cyrus has been out here for 8 minutes and his ass is still not over. And beyond all of that, he's sorry that since he goes beyond ECW on the network, he's sorry he's going to kick his F-word ass and not the F-word for fuck. Joel takes off the neck brace and stalks Cyrus, but Rhino's in with a gore. Cyrus stomps on Joel until Joey comes over and drags him off and wants to fight. Both men take their jackets off. Steve Corino's in. He grabs Joey from behind to hold him. Jack Victory's there, but before they can hurt Joey, out comes Dreamer. Makes a save to a pop. He lays out Cyrus. Rhino clobbers Tommy. Incredible is in with a cane, but he canes Rhino by accident. In comes Anton. They gang up on Tommy until Walk hits, and RVD is down to clean house. RVD takes out Rhino with a Van Daminator, takes out Scotty before diving into the network on the floor with a high cross body to end the segment. This was pretty red hot. Joel and Cyrus War continues to bring the heat with words, and they wove it nicely into ECW Network with the brawl at the end. So we talked about this a lot, like a little bit ago, how the network stuff has been raging on, but there's still times where, because the performers involved in it are so dynamic, that it still works, because it's just Cyrus and Joel shitting on each other, and the construct of the network isn't seeping in as much. This is them being assholes to each other. And the guys involved are pretty over in Dreamer and RVD. So, like, there's still a lot of hot stuff woven throughout it. It's just that the overarching angle is getting a little Jenny. But the segment was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's fine. It's just, I think it's all the run-ins. I think that's where it starts to get, like, I get it. I mean, I wish we could just pick something else that's not a run-in to, like, do. I don't know what else that would be, but but Joel was very good here, and Cyrus was too. I mean, like, I don't mind them fighting. I'm just tired of hearing the word network, I think is what it is, Maddie.
Yeah, I mean, look, the end game of this segment was still the same with, RVD coming out and cleaning house, but I did appreciate, like I mentioned before, that they changed it up enough where it wasn't just the same fucking thing again, like we've seen nonstop. Like, the way we got there was a little bit different, like with the Cyrus stuff and the Joel stuff. Like, that was all really well done. And Rhino goring Joel, I thought was a good visual. So I like that part of it. And like I said, the end game was still ended up being similar, but I don't know. It feels like Joey and Cyrus are going to have Joel and Cyrus rather are going to have a match at some point. Like, it feels like it has to be going that way, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't waste all this fucking time doing it, even if it's like a tag match or something. It just feels like we're getting to the point where they got to fight or fuck or do something. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it ultimately ended up being the same, but there was enough different in it where I enjoyed it, and Cyrus is always entertaining. So clearly the best thing we've talked about so far tonight, for my money.
Yeah, I am surprised that we haven't had Joel and Cyrus on pay-per-view. Like, that seems like a layup to deliver. So, but it is the same, like you said. I mean, we're now in like 6 or 7 months of like talking about this, right? Like Joel and Cyrus going at it. So
I don't want to see them fight. I don't know.
Yeah, just something.
It could be entertaining in a car crash kind of way.
Yeah, like Fonzie and Beulah or whatever. But what they could do is like
how dare you?
They could do like RVD and Anton, and if RVD wins, Gertner gets 5 minutes with Cyrus. See, like, you do something like that where it's not like a match, but it's like a fight.
Right.
Just to have something happen, because it has been just like edging along forever. I mean, this needs to end with like someone murdering Cyrus, right? Like this has
I was
to
just
be
thinking that Joel needs to do something dirty and underhanded outside the ring. Like, I don't want to fight in the ring.
Watch, it'll happen the week after TNN is done.
Like, Gertner should distract him, and then RVD lays him out with a Van Daminator, and like that's it. Like something like that, right? All right, Credible and Francina backstage. Credible says because Lynn beat RVD doesn't mean he can beat him. Credible will beat him. Rhino comes in and says only if Credible doesn't fuck up again. Credible tells him to shut up, calls him a big R word. Rhino asks who he's calling the R word and calls Credible a dead man. Cyrus comes in and says they're trying to do business and it's time for kayfabe. Francine kicks out the cameraman. Seems to be trouble brewing between Credible and the network after the missed Kane shot.
Okay.
So
it's very exciting.
By the loading dock, Joel is now getting loaded into the ambulance after a break.
Oh.
Cyrus shows up and says he was an eyewitness. Tell the medics that Gertner has an object lodged in his anus. The medic's eyes go wide and then they close the door. And Cyrus says he needs a full anal probe.
That guy's face.
The medics was great.
Oh my God. I
was
popped
like,
so hard for that shit. It was perfect.
That's why he's here.
Like, as his eyes go wide, they close the door. It was good. All right. Cash Money Cash hosts. Kid Cash taking on Easy Money. We head to the ring, join out. It's in progress. Cash is cutting through Money. Joey asks if TNN would air an endoscopy and say we get higher ratings than Roller Jam. Joey notes that Easy is making his ECW debut, and his partner Chris Hamrick, our old buddy Chris, is at ringside. Lays out the rest of the night ahead, discussing the ongoing questions around Lynn and the network ahead of the big ECW title match later tonight. After a run of chain work from both men, Cash gets 2 on a sunset flip, drop kicks Money to the floor. Cash flies into him and Hamrick with a dive off the top to a pop. After break, Easy counters a sunset flip into a modified pile driver, ties up the ref so Hamrick can drill a top rope leg drop on Cash. Easy gyrates over Cash and drops to his knees for 2. Easy works over Cash, getting a near fall, choking away. Joey ponders if Credible is with the network or not. Easy counters a moonsault press with an inverted splash mountain for 2. Cash rallies with a baseball side to Hamrick and a springboard sunset flip on Easy. We get a flurry of pin attempts from both into an Easy super kick, but Cash recovers with a springboard Rana, chops away, drills the moneymaker, and nabs the win. This is a pretty good little TV match. I thought Easy Money had a nice debut showing. Cash is really building up his resume. He's carrying the TV week after week right now. And, you know, I kind of like Easy and Hamrick either as a team. Like they could be in the mix for the tag division, which we could use another fresh team, or Easy with Hamrick at ringside is also kind of a fun act. And we just need another guy that can kind of hang with dudes like Cash. And I think Easy shows something here. So 2 3/4 from me, Jenny. This is a pretty good TV match. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like we haven't had enough of on TNN. It's just a couple of guys let them rip for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I really like this too. Like for what we got. And does this man have actual money like stapled to his pants?
It sure looked like it.
For his
a crime
whole
is
look?
what that is.
I thought that was very disturbing. There's a million other things you could have done, bro, but I guess that's what you got. But I like the wrestling. He's kind of he's not. I mean, Cash runs circles around him, and he's kind of not. I don't know. I can't put a finger on who this guy reminds me of, but can't. Yeah, but it's somebody that I think I like. So I'm gonna give him 2.5, Maddie.
Yeah, I went 2.5 on this too. This was really fun. Money at one point throws Cash across the ring like a fucking lawn dart. That was a great move. And one of my favorite finishing moves ever is the Moneymaker from Cash, where he just fucking spikes Dude X on his head with that J Driller Angel's Wings type move. God, it always looks so sick. So I popped seeing that again. So yeah, I mean, look, you need more bodies on this fucking roster, and it's an added bonus that you're throwing Easy Money in with on a team too. So because you need teams along with needing bodies, so it makes perfect sense. And the fact that he can hang with Cash is also another bonus. So yeah, this was fun. Give me more stuff from these two guys. 2.5.
Yeah, agreed. I'd like to see more. Hamrick attacks after the bell. Him and Easy lay out Cash until Natural Born Killers fires up. Out comes New Jack with his bucket. Beats down both guys into a bloody mess. He uses a guitar that Joey says isn't some paper breakaway like Jeff Jarrett uses. New Jack throws Cash on top of Hamrick, and H.G. Low counts the fall. Just the usual massacre on the low card by New Jack to pop the crowd. I'm fine with him doing this versus having actual matches. So honestly, just be an act where just like 911 used to be, just come out and randomly murder people once a show.
Yeah,
that's
just
okay. You don't have to always
wasn't
put it on TV, just now and then.
I'm just glad he wasn't beating the shit out of the Baldies again. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
something different.
Poor Hamrick, man. Though he's taking a beating a couple weeks here in a row. Sinister Minister, Mikey Whipwreck, Balls Mahoney, and 5 random grungy goth burnouts are outside by a fence, and there's an American flag waving behind them. Look, I talked about this on the first TNN we covered tonight. How these guys not
asked for this.
Here we are.
You did. Yeah.
Minister is at a cobbled together podium, and says there's the stench of oppression in the air. And his sermon today concerns censorship, as there are people who would have you believing watching ECW would send you straight to hell. Minister is here to tell us on good authority that won't happen. As here at ECW, they do not believe in censorship or oppression. They don't wipe their ass on the Bill of Rights, as America is the land of the free and the home of the brave. The congregation cheers everything Minister says as he goes. Mikey's humming glory, glory, hallelujah. Minister salutes the flag. Mikey stops and Minister says, I didn't know you were such a good hummer. The Prodigette is there. And she pops up off her knees. So that's the joke about the hummer. And says, my name's not Mikey. Minister and Mikey start giggling. Prodigy shows up and is barking at her in Spanish, drags her off. The congregation cackles and roll around like maniacs. So a good bounce back for the demonic crew after Hardcore TV, one of the better outings. I did not do this justice. I would recommend trying to dig this up. It's really fucking chaotic. It's straight out of Asbury. This is a lot going on. Balls randomly being there is crazy. I don't know why
was your wear.
Yeah.
The Hummer joke, I kind of butchered it, but it was funny. So it was all pretty good.
Maddie.
Pay your taxes, Uncle Sam. Here. Did you get your hell W-2s in?
It was the good State of the Union address.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Daddy Mitchell.
I pledge allegiance.
I love this. I thought it was fantastic.
And then the fucking 9 Inch Nails groupies there too was also.
Oh, I thought they were great.
Yeah. Just this was a lot to unpack.
I
it
loved
was
it.
good.
Yeah.
It was very different.
You asked for this. Just remember that.
I did. It was good. We needed it.
My
We needed a
note
good
said,
dose.
who are these rando skanks?
It was such
How
a
dare you? They're nice people.
what a group. Joey's running down what's still to come. We go backstage. Credible and Rhino are still fighting. Cyrus and Francine are breaking them up. Joey plugs the website. Big deal here. You can download the world premiere of Motley Crue's new single, Hell on High Heels. Not available anywhere else. So this is a big get for ECW to land the Motley Crue exclusive release.
Yeah, but I think this is when Vince Neil wasn't in Motley Crue, so it's the worst Motley Crue, I think.
I mean,
He was still out of the band.
what more do you want? They're on the ECW websites.
That's a fair point.
Clearly, it's down the bottom of the Motley Crue releases.
Hmm.
Yeah.
This is maybe Motley Lou from Hot Tub Pie Machine.
Wow, that's a hell of a thing.
Trying. I am working tonight, guys.
It's better than your damn Hall Pass reference.
How dare you? Hall Pass was like the last great comedy. We run down shows in Danbury, Milwaukee, Chicago, Kansas City, Wichita, Poughkeepsie, Philly, Heat Wave in LA, Decatur, Peoria, Dallas, and Houston. Main event time, Jerry Lynn challenging Justin Credible for the ECW World title. After a break, Credible and Fran are in the ring. Joey runs down the issues tonight that have occurred between Credible and Rhino. We cut to the hallway from backstage as the network scamper over. They hype up Lynn. They say, we got your back. Lynn ignores them all, heads to the ring as Joey tries to piece this puzzle together. We get intros. We get some clips of potential collusion between the Lynn and the network over the last few weeks. Then we get into it, both men trading strikes off the bell. Joey talks about the long rivalry between these two. Started in 1997 with Credible's debut win. We quickly spill outside where Lynn shoots Credible into the railing, into the crowd. Lynn batters Credible through the fans, smashing him with a beer. Credible turns the tide and shoots him into the door. Credible's bleeding over his eye, drags Lynn back to the ring. We stop halfway for a slugfest. Lynn shoots Credible into a trash can. He grinds at the cut before shooting him back in the ring. Lynn stalks Credible, but the champ meets him with a mule kick, spikes him to an open chair. Credible puts the chair against Lynn in the corner, barrels into him with a running knee, gets a sit-out powerbomb for 2, goes to a chin lock, a sleeper, breaks free. Lynn breaks through the jawbreaker. Credible takes him back down with a sidewalk slam. They trade some chops. Lynn gets a back elbow and a drop kick, throws Credible over the top hard to the floor, meets him with a pescado, hammers away at the cut some more. We go back to the ring as Joey gets word from ECW's top researcher, Gordon Avery, that Credible currently leads the all-time series by 1. So if Lynn wins tonight, he'll tie it up and win the ECW title. Lynn puts Credible up top and follows, takes him off the top rope through a table with a Rana. That gets a big pop. Back of the ring, Lynn covers for a near fall, rolls back outside to fetch another table. Credible is able to counter, sticks a super kick for 2. Fran's on the apron. Lynn shoves Credible into her. Fran recovers and canes Lynn in the head. That gets 2. Francine gives Credible a chair. It backfires as Lynn DDTs the champ on it for 2. Fran trips up Lynn, chases her around, but he runs into a Credible belt shot for a near fall. Jazz shows up. She shoves Fran in the ring, crushes the sidewalk slam, hits Credible with the Jazz Stinger for a Lynn near fall. The Network are out to booze as Credible sticks Stats Incredible for 2. Carino and Victory help Fran to the back, and Joey asks if they're helping or abducting her. Scotty Anton smiling and doing a clap as Lynn whips Credible into the ref, and it's a cradle pile driver. No one's there to count. Anton checks on the ref as Credible blocks German to the table and lands another mule kick. Rhino comes charging in, but Credible leapfrogs him, gores Lynn through the table as Joey wonders who that gore was meant for. Credible covers and retains his title. This is a great match. Multiple things were needed here, and we got them all. Credible needed a banger on TV. Like, he hasn't had one in a bit as champion. And him and Lynn have a good chemistry. That's one thing we've seen out of Credible since his debut in 97 when they had their summer series. We needed this on TV. like we haven't had this in a minute too. So that was good. They did a nice job blending the network stuff in late without ruining the flow of the match. A lot of close near falls, a lot of brawling, a good pace. Lynn always dazzles, and I thought Credible showed up well here in this match. So good for him. I went 3 3/4, Matt. There's a really strong TV main event, one that was needed across the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly Credible's best match he's had since he won the world title. A lot of that has to do with who he's in there with, and Jerry Lynn, who we've talked about ad nauseum, can have great matches with anybody with a pulse at this point. So I went 3.5 on it. It is good, but I will say Credible is really and maybe it's by design because he's trying to do the stupid heel thing, but the fucking headlocks in the middle of the match are just a killer, especially when the match starts as hot as they do in ECW, and then 5-6 minutes in, he just fucking slaps on a headlock. It just kills the flow of this match. And luckily, Lynn is good enough to, carry him out of it. But man, for whatever reason, it annoyed the hell out of me in this match more than any other. But you could see the chemistry is still there. This is a lot closer to what their matches in 98 were. Part of me does wonder, too, I wonder if they gave any thought to switching the belt here to Jerry Lynn.
Well, they should have
just the way it was framing it with the Lynn stuff. I think Lynn's storyline is very interesting with whose side is he on. You could use Jerry Lynn as world champion to get to RVD being world champion. It would make sense. I wonder if they gave that any thought here. So, but as is, it's a great match. So I went 3.5. Clearly the best thing we've seen out of Credible in a long time, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I was like, maybe Heyman is going to surprise me right now and hook me back in, because Lord knows I will complain for months and then there'll be something cool and he'll hook me back in. Right. And I was kind of hoping for this. How hard I would pop for a Jerry Lynn win, but we don't get it. We get good chemistry and a good match, but I've seen this shit before, and I like the use of Fran here. I think she's well used along with Jazz. But Lord, I just want a fucking match to end without a motherfucking coming in there and fucking it up. Like, just a fucking clean, normal, kick-ass match. I hate the ref shit because anyway, I got.
I think they're just trying to protect Lynn a little bit, after he beat RVD. But
I get it, but I dinged it again because I just got disappointed because I was hoping for something different for this. So I did 3 1/4 and said, "Fuck you."
All right, fair enough. All right, that was my best match of the night.
Yeah.
Worst match was Cash Money, which is tough because that was good.
Yeah.
Best moment with the brawl at the beginning.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Daddy Mitchell's sermon.
That was great too.
Yeah, that was good too.
Most 2000s, Jeff Jarrett's breakaway guitars and the Motley Crue single exclusive premiere. Rising, I went Gertner, Cyrus, RVD, the Minister's Congregation, Lynn, Credible.
Jazz
was good.
Yep.
Only thing falling is Chris Hamrick's blood counts. Bleeding out.
Yeah.
Look, I went high on this. I'm not going to apologize for it. I went 8 out of 10. I thought the opening segment was hot. It had a great TV main event. Cash Money is like your worst match, and that was 2 3/4. You had the Minister stuff. I even thought Credible Rhino backstage was okay. Like there was nothing really that kind of dragged on this episode. And it's just been the bifurcation of like the keeping the tag stuff over on Hardcore TV and kind of out of here has helped a little bit. And this is just focused on the hottest stuff they have going on right now and had 2 great matches. So like, I don't know. This is like one of those really strong episodes and it was a nice bounce back.
It was a nice bounce back. If that main event would have given me a new champ, I could do the 8, but I'm going to do 7.5.
Yeah, I went 7.5 on it too. They desperately needed an episode like this, so good on them. But yeah 7.5.
Agreed. All right. That'll do it for us here tonight. We will be back in 2 weeks, and we will be covering 3 more episodes of ECW television. We are getting, inching toward Heat Wave. We still got a few more sets of TV to go before we get there. So we're kind of right in the middle right now, but we're edging along. We'll get there soon. Be sure to leave us your comments, your thoughts, your love, your shares, everything on YouTube and all of our audio feeds. We appreciate you. Enjoy your St. Joseph's Day, which should be in past by the time we watch this, but it's okay. That's it. Stay extreme. We're out.